John and Hugh are on the air.
Sports Radio 92.9 The Game.
There are times where it's just 9 a.m. on Friday and our whistle's blowing for the last hour of our show, and then there's today. Yesterday, Hugh and I got a chance to go over to the Shepherd Center down next to Piedmont Hospital and meet a young man who, Hugh, became sort of a well-known figure around here because of what happened to him during a game with the Georgia Bulldogs, and I'm talking about Devon Gales.
What's going on, man? How you feeling today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. You know, yesterday we were there. We were watching work out. And you was getting after yesterday. A little sore. Those shoulders a little sore today?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, he was out there because we got there to see him work out. He was doing shoulders yesterday. He's doing his rehab. And we was there with his therapist, and he was doing shoulders a little bit yesterday.
And Devon Gales joins us in studio with his mom, Tish. Good morning to you, Tish.
Good morning.
And, of course, we're going to hear his story. Watching him try to battle back from this, we have so many questions to ask. I know you and I both have a lot of questions to ask. But if I can, Devon, I'd like to go back to that moment. I'd like to begin at the beginning for you. You came into the game against Georgia back in October, first weekend in October, and you're playing the game. What do you remember of what happened to you in that moment that led to your injury?
I remember everything. It was just something that you never forget. I would just remember trying to block him, and everything just locked on me. Like, everything just collapsed. So when I fell to the ground, I just was like, I can't move, you know? And they were coming around me, telling me, stay still. And I was just laughing, telling them, I can't move. And they took care of me ever since.
And, Mom, you were at the game, correct? No, you were not at the game. You were at home watching on TV?
I was at home watching on television.
What was your reaction?
Well, at first, my husband kept telling me, that's not Devon, that's not Devon. And I'm like, oh, yes, that's Devon. I remember that black ankle bracelet that he had on his ankle. And he said, well, let's just wait and see what happens, because it went to commercial immediately. And then once the game came back on, and the name came across the screen, I said, I told you that was him. And at that moment, of course, that's the moment that no parent ever wants to have to deal with, which is seeing your son injured. So my husband was like, well, let's just wait a minute and see what they're going to say. So within the next 5 to 10 minutes, the phone started ringing off the hook. People were calling and saying, we have your son. We're taking him to Athens Regional, and we'll give you more information as we get there. So I took it upon myself to call, and I spoke with the nurse in the emergency room, and she couldn't give me as much information because at that time they didn't know what was going on. And she said, well, let me take a minute, find out what's going on, and I'll give you a call back. So when she did give me the call back, she said, well, Miss Gales, she said, we do have your son here, and they're going to have to take him into surgery. So at that point, I'm like, okay, ma'am, all I need for you to let me know is, do I need to be on the next flight to Georgia? And she said yes. And after that, that was it.
As a mother and as a parent, what's going through your mind when you're getting ready to take that trip to Georgia?
I was trying to pack, and to this day, I couldn't tell you what I put in a suitcase. My mind was just going a mile a minute because I was only thinking of what could happen. I was praying and just asking God to keep his hands on my child until I can get there to see him. And at that point, I was really worried because I was thinking he's there and I'm not, So I was in the midst of the phone calls coming in. One of my good friends who was at the game called me and she said, Tish, what do you need me to do? And I asked her if she would go and be by his side at the hospital until I got there. And then Ron Corson, the head athletic trainer at UGA, gave my husband a phone call, and he asked us, could we be to the airport within the next hour? And we were there, and from that point on, we were headed to Athens.
Southern University wide receiver Devon Gales injured in a game against Georgia in early October and has been in Atlanta ever since. While you were in Athens, now you were in Atlanta. Devon, after you went into surgery and you came out and you found out what the injuries were, people were telling you what your injuries were, how did you deal with that? Not just physically, we'll get into the physical part of it, but psychologically. I mean, you're a football player and suddenly you have this spinal injury happen to you.
It's basically a tragic accident. It's never meant for anyone to happen like this. But just to know that it happened to me, it was the Lord telling me something. And basically, I had to sit down and listen and see what he wanted me to do. Because anybody that has this accident, basically you never know what you're gonna get into, either in any type of sport. Any injury that you get into is it's phenomenal to know that the Lord took care of me and put me in His arms, and know that I will get better.
Was there grief at the idea of going from a college wide receiver to being in the condition? Did you go through different stages psychologically?
No, I didn't. I prayed about it. I talked to the Lord about it, and He kept me in faith and confidence the whole way.
When I read the story, and the one thing that jumped out to me, you said it was a blessing, and as a former player, you had to explain that to me, because when I read it, that just kind of grabbed me a little bit. Explain to me how that was a blessing for you.
Because without this, I would have never met the people that I met now. I would never have been in Atlanta and had the amount of support and the things that so many people did for me and my family. And I thank everyone for just the support and just taking us under their wing and just making us one of their own.
Talking about taking money in the wing, I was talking to your mother the other day. She told me that since you've been here, you really haven't eaten the hospital food. Like she said, like every night, like you've had like a different meal. So I mean, how are you pulling that off?
Well, it's different. It's I guess so many people bring the food that I love it. It's just different types of food that I've never tried at home, and I want to try this and I want to try that. So everything is good out here.
Well, I was doing a little ear hustling, and which I shouldn't have been doing, but I heard it was like different like females that were like bringing some of these. I'm sorry, I was being nosy. I'm sorry, I apologize. But I heard it was like different young ladies that were like bringing plates and stuff. So that's what I'm saying. So like I've heard since you've been here, you've made quite a few friends.
Yeah, a lot of people just came and check on me to see how I'm doing. Females, males, everyone been just phenomenal. I love and thank everyone for it.
I apologize for putting your business out there on the radio.
No, it's cool,
because he gave it. I apologize. I'm dead wrong. I'm man code. I blew it. Man code. I blew the man code. I got to be quiet for it now. Wow, John, I forgot to blew the man code.
No, you're fine. Devon Gale's joining us in studio with his mother Tish here, and Tish, you've been here for the better part now at Shepherd Center for the better part of 4 months, and if you could kind of take me through a little bit of what you have seen, because quadriplegia is something very serious, and
Right.
you worry whether or not you're going to have form and function, and you've seen growth. Can you take us from when you first heard the word quadriplegia to where you are now and where you hope to get in the future?
Yes. Well, actually, when we first arrived at the Shepherd Center, they never told us, no, your son will never walk again. What they said was that with the type of injury he has, the spine is swollen. They said there's a 50-50 chance that the spine could decrease, and if it does, there's a possibility that he can walk again. But at the same time, there is a possibility that he could not. So because the words never came out of their mouth saying that it was a definite, that he would never be able to walk again, we've always kept the faith and believed that he will. When we first arrived at Shepherd, he was not able to move anything past his shoulders. They did what's called an Asia test, which tells the level of his injury, and that will give them a baseline versus something to compare to by the time it's time for him to leave. And he has shown a tremendous amount of improvement since he's gotten there, to going from not being able to move anything past your shoulders to being able to move your arms. He's had some minimal movement in his legs, his toes. And it's been a struggle. It hadn't all been peaches and cream. He's been working very hard. And he said sometimes it's worse than 2-a-days. He compares it to football. And he says, You know, a lot of times when you get up in the morning, it's like, wow, I feel like I'm at it all over again, you know. But we've been grateful, like he said, for the amount of support. The Shepherd Center is an awesome, awesome place. Anytime you can wake up in the morning and you see a smile as soon as you wake up, even from the environmental services all the way up into the doctors, you know, it's a wonderful thing, because when you go to a place and everybody there is looking like it's a sad day or a funeral or something like that, it doesn't do much for the patients. And there, I've been able to say that it's been a wonderful experience in the tragedy.
Yeah, and I could tell yesterday, like, you were really getting after it in your rehab. Is that something like every day you set goals for yourself? Because when you were doing the shoulder shrugs, it seemed like the more that you did, you were able to do more reps. So are you setting goals for yourself every day as far as your reps are concerned?
Yes, sir. I try to get so many that I can. I don't count my reps.
Mm-hmm.
Just like football, I never counted my reps. I just rep and go all out. So I take football and therapy and put it together. So all the hard work that I did in football, it carries on to my therapy in Shepherd. So that's my motivation and grind to get better. And it's paying off of everything I'm doing now.
A text into us, Hugh, from the 404 here, says to you, Hugh, I was feeling bad, didn't want to get up. Now, after listening to Devon, I am up and motivated. I was at the game and saw the hit. Also at the game was Logan and Conyers, Devon, and he wanted to call in and say that he was at the game as well. Morning to you, Logan.
Morning, guys. Good morning, Devon.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, Bubba. Hey, man, I was at that game, and, you know, I've been following your story on Twitter, and I don't want to get too emotional, honest to God, but, you know, dude, you're such an inspiration to so many people. I mean, I've had 2 knee surgeries, and I thought I'd never see this field again. But then I look at how blessed I am after seeing unfortunate your injury was. And, dude, I'm praying for you, man. And I hope to God you'll one day achieve your dreams of being able to walk and stand under your own power, dude. And just know that I love you, bro. Dog Nation loves you, and God loves you, and you can do anything you set your mind to, dude. Don't stop.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me.
We are also joined by his mother, Tish, in studio. And right now, can I say former Falcon, or do I have to say current Titan?
I can't tell you how to do your job.
Harry Douglas, of course.
But you,
NFL wide receiver.
But you better
we'll
put Titan in there somewhere.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
He can't fall.
I mean, I love my job now.
Harry Douglas joins us in studio with John and Hugh. Morning to you, Harry.
Good morning. Good morning.
Harry, Devon Gales, quite a story, huh?
Man, this just sitting in the back before I came in, man, listening to him, I told him he, just in this little bit of time of me meeting him, he's an inspiration for me. And I think a lot of people need to listen and listen to him and how faith-driven he is. You can learn a lot from him, man. And I'm going to stay in contact with him so me and him can be in contact so we could be lifelong friends. Because, like I said, I mean, his willingness, the way he's still smiling through the whole process is a blessing. And like I told him, God don't make no mistakes. And he got something in store better for you, man. Like, for real.
You know what? I mean, to his point, I'm just sitting here, and like even yesterday, like, you know, we do this job, and, you know, we deal with people on the text line, and you deal with people saying different things, and watching you work out yesterday, the first thing jumped in my mind was, it doesn't matter. No matter what you say on this text line, no matter what you're going through your day, it don't matter. Because this young man right here is just trying to get some of his life back. And it's like, it don't matter. It just don't matter.
Right.
What did your teammates at Southern, I'm sure you've been in contact. I know that you have been in contact. You're probably anxious to get home, I would think, to Baton Rouge. What have your teammates said, and how anxious are you to get back home?
I'm very ready to get back. I just want to go back and go see my brother and know that I'm doing better than what I was when I got hit, because nobody haven't seen me since my injury, and I know they're worried about me, and I'm worried about them, and I just want to let them know that I'll be all right. I'm going to walk again. I'm going to be the person that I always was, even if I'm in the chair or not, I'm gonna be better than what I was. And thanking the Lord that He put me here and let me going through this, it's just making me a man to be stronger than what I am.
You're joined by Devon Gales here, and Harry and Hugh. Tish, to you and to Devon both, if I can, Harry, and I want you to jump in here. One of the great things, in a way, Georgia's response, the University of Georgia's response to this, because you're a player on the other team, and sometimes I would assume, Harry, in a football game, in a situation like this, you can say, well, okay, your player got injured and you got to deal with it. But Georgia didn't do that, did they?
No, not at all. They haven't left our sides actually since the injury happened. There are no words that I can say that can explain how grateful we are for the University of Georgia. They've done it all, from getting us here within a split second to taking care of us until we got to see our son. You know, they encouraged us, you know, and let us know that they would be here with us throughout all of it, and they have stood to their word.
I mean, it says a lot about the program, and it's one of those things for me, when I think about it, it lets everybody know that it's always bigger than football. You know what I'm saying? It's always a bigger piece to the puzzle.
Right.
And it's bigger than football. And football just happened to be the platform, but you learn a lot about people in trial and error. Anybody can be happy-go-lucky when everything is going good, but how do people respond when things are not going so good? When adversity hits them, and not just in the game of football, but in life too. You know what I mean? It lets you know a lot about people and what their intentions are and how they are as people.
Right. There are certain members of the athletic staff that visits Devon on a weekly basis. They've come since we've been here in Atlanta. They will continue to come, and I just believe that we've gained an extended family. You know, they include Devon as a Bulldog. You know, when we went back to the game to show our appreciation to the Bulldog Nation, it was just a feeling that you can't describe. When we got him out on the field, it was like a blanket of love surrounded us, because it was a standing ovation when he came out on the field, and it was nothing he could do but sit there and flash that big smile and just throw his hands up in the air, because it was something, you know, it was definitely a memorable experience, something he wouldn't forget.
Do you want to give a shout to Bulldog Nation there?
I want to thank everybody in the Bulldog Nation. Without you, I wouldn't be where I am now. I just appreciate everyone. It's been a blessing.
So out of all these dishes that you had since you've been in Georgia, what was your favorite? Because, you know, I haven't eaten since I've been on this diet. I've been craving for food, so I'm just trying to live vicariously through you.
Hugh, hold on.
Oh, I'm gonna win the piece before you get. I'm gonna win the piece.
This is Harry Douglas.
But I heard him in the back talking about, you know, the young ladies. I want to know, did the young lady bring you a nice dish?
Man, I had some turkey necks and neck bones the other day.
Oh, he went old school with
man, it was so good.
I haven't had a turkey neck in ever.
Really?
It's been a while.
It was so good.
He can eat about 6 or 7 turkey
No,
necks.
it's been so long, man. I've been, you know, I'm just.
Even
I'm
though
just
he don't
sitting here
have
like,
no neck, you know, he can eat about 6 or
sitting here
7 turkey
reminiscing. It's been a minute.
My bad, because
It's been a minute.
We are talking with Devon Gales, his mother Tish. Harry Douglas joining John and Hugh in studio, telling his story. I want to get back to your story a little bit, because I heard, Devon, when you were first injured, I want to be correct about this. You didn't have any feeling in your legs, and suddenly, recently, that's been a development for you. You've had that. What happened, and how did that make you feel?
It made me feel good, because I knew the Lord had gave me some of my feeling back. I was doing this program I have to do every night because of the injury, knowing I can't feel down past my waist, and my mom was moving me, and I had hit the sink. She had hit my leg on the sink, and the Lord says, "Here you go, you're feeling on your knee." And I was like, "Ow!" It hurted. So I had a little feeling back, and I was like, "Mom, come here, feel this." And she was just rubbing. I was like, "You feel? I can feel all that on my knee and the hair." She was rubbing on it. I was like, the Lord blessed me and gave me another chance to fill in my legs. And it's been a true blessing. It gave me more motivation of grind.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah, the grind is real.
I love it.
Oh, you should have saw him yesterday, Harry. He was out there. He was getting after it.
Man, I love it,
He
man.
was out there getting after it.
Wow, it is a great story. We're going to continue to talk to Devon. You can see the video that we shot yesterday at the Shepherd Center. We'll talk a little bit about what the Shepherd Center's meant to him. We have Hugh, DJ Shockley, and others tweeting into
Yeah,
you.
my frat brother DJ Shockley tweeted and he said, "We are family at Georgia. We take care of everybody." He said, "Tell Devon, keep your spirit up and continue to inspire the masses. We are with you through it all. Proud of you, Bulldog." That's what he said. That's my frat brother, DJ Shockley.
Tell him I said thank you, and I really appreciate it.
He hear you. He's listening.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And one of the great things we talk, you talk, Devon, about how God entered your life in this way. Tish, why don't you tell the audience what it just so happens to be Devon's major at Southern University?
Well, it took us a while to try to figure out what he wanted to do, but the end result came in therapeutic recreation.
Therapeutic recreation.
Mm-hmm. Wow, and it's just ironic. I told him, I said, "Do you think they might let us slide with internship for 4 months being at Shepherd Center?"
Shepherd Center's been really good to you, hasn't it, Devon?
Oh, yes. They took care of me since I've been there and still taking care of me.
I think your therapist, your physical therapist, needs a little bit of shout out on the radio, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Dan, what's going on, man? Lots of love, lots of love.
Now, was that the guy yesterday when you were on the bike? Was that the when you were pedaling? That wasn't the
No,
one?
that's Gustavo.
Yeah.
That's a sports recreation therapist.
Yeah, because you kind of ran away from him when you got on that bike a little bit. You had the hand bike. You kind of got on there and you kind of went out. Was that your first time riding the bike?
Yes, that was my first time.
And then you took like a fish to water with that one.
Yeah, it was different, but it was fun.
So,
Hey, tell who you got things to do, man. You got places to be.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
I gotta get on
saying?
the
You got
street.
places to be and things to do.
Absolutely. And you can't forget about Claire either.
Oh, yeah. Claire took care of me, too.
Claire is his occupational therapist.
okay. So who's your favorite NFL team?
My favorite NFL team, it would have to be the Falcons.
Mom over here cringing.
Oh, you can't say that, Harry Douglas. Come on. You're killing me.
Okay, so
I'm a
you
Falcons
live,
fan. You're a Falcon to be still. I don't care
so
where
you
you
live
play
in
now.
Louisiana. How does that work in Louisiana?
I always been a Falcons fan. I always had love for Michael Vick. Ever since Michael Vick been playing, that was my role model, and I always he inspired me to be a Falcons fan.
Okay.
And you say you went to a game. You had a chance to meet some of the guys, man. And I'm like I said, I'm gonna do what I can do to get Rod, Julio, Matt Ryan, come down there, meet you, kick it with you a little bit, so we can have some fun. I like your attitude, man. You're a jokester too. I like that.
Just
I like
a little
that.
something. Just a little.
Need to send a shout out to Coach Quinn too, because
Yeah,
Coach Quinn
Coach
has
Quinn.
been, he's been a good friend to us as well. He's kept in contact with Devon. He's actually been having us out to come to. We've gone to a couple of Falcons games, and he's shown us nothing but love as well.
Yeah, I thank him for everything he done for me. It's like a new family that I never met, and now I've,
And Mr. Kevin.
everybody.
That's good because, man, the Falcons organization, I feel that's a first class organization, man.
Yeah.
They do things right, so that's good.
Absolutely.
Devon Gale's still at the Shepherd Center for a couple of more weeks, and we'll explain that in a moment. You can go to our website, 929thegame.com, and see what we shot yesterday, what Rob Hamilton shot yesterday of Devon when he was talking about him on the bike. We have all that video up right now on our website, and it's really an inspiring piece of video. And we say 2 more weeks before you get to go home. Now, Tish, you guys were supposed to go home right now, but
Yes.
because of that
Good.
newfound revelation about his legs, you're staying for 2 more
Absolutely.
weeks.
They asked us if we could stay a little longer because now that he is showing movement and improvements, they feel that they can work with that little bit of muscle that's moving. They feel that they can work with it to strengthen it and maybe start waking up some more muscles and start seeing some more improvements. So we told them, take as long as you want. We'll be here until you put us out.
And Devon, I imagine watching you, because Hugh said first time you were on that bike, and right now, what is your goal?
My goal is for like everyone else just to get back on my feet and do what I've been doing my whole life of walking and everything. But if that doesn't happen, I have to find other ways to maneuver around. And it's just a blessing to know that I'm still here and I'm still pushing around in this chair, you know. It's fun. I make jokes out of it because if you don't have fun in life, it can bring you down. So like my dad told me one day, he was pushing me around. I told him they had a wet floor sign, and I was like, could you move it out the way before I slip and fall? You know?
Yes, he is definitely a jokester.
It's fun.
Right. So you're gonna watch any of the games this weekend?
Oh yes, I have to watch. I gotta watch the game.
I want to know who you got winning. Who you got in the Super Bowl? You going for? We're gonna start with.
Wait, let's start with the games this weekend. Who you got this weekend? Let's start with the first one. You got Denver. We got Denver, and we got New England. Who you got this weekend?
Ooh, that's gonna be a big one there. I would say New England.
I'm gonna ask you again.
Don't listen. That's your decision. That's your decision. Don't let him bully you into picking somebody else. That's your decision.
We bonded so well yesterday. Everything was going well. Okay, fine. You can have that.
No. Your Brady hate is just gonna go. I know.
I'm not hating. No, he did play well the week before. He played well.
Yeah, you are.
I let him have. Okay, this second one, Carolina. We got Carolina, Arizona. Who you got in that game?
Carolina.
I don't have a problem with that.
Smart man.
No, because I've been kind of hedging. I've been kind of hedging because Larry Fitzgerald, I like the way he's been playing,
right?
And then Cam, I just like the fact that the moms hate Cam. Moms hate Cam, and they always want to go to my kids and being a role model. They always want to go to the you making a bad example for my kids. I just want to see Cam win for that simple fact right there.
Man, Cam.
How did you feel about the dabbing? But I would ask you because you were out there playing on the field. How did you feel about the dabbing?
It is what it is. Don't nobody say nothing to Aaron Rodgers when he do the belt. Don't nobody say nothing to Tom Brady when he spiked the ball. If Cam want to dab, he can dab.
Right.
I mean,
it's just his signature.
I think he's using his platform in a positive way.
Devon, how'd you feel about the dab? Did you have a problem with the dabbing on people?
Not at all. Everyone does it. You're gonna do it. You're gonna have some type of dance that you do. Just for scoring. It's a celebration. Everybody want to celebrate after they score. So
the MVP should be able to dab.
Right.
So you can see that he is the MVP. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
If he's not, then they robbed him.
Okay, so we got both you guys. We got New England and Carolina Super Bowl. Who wins Super Bowl?
Carolina.
Dab. Look at my dab. Look at my dab.
So you were just ready to do Brady hate.
Sean,
I wasn't. MVP and the Super Bowl champ. That's a pretty good year for a young quarterback. That's not bad. That's not bad for Cam Newton.
Devon Gale's in studio with Harry Douglas, Hugh Douglas, and his mom Tish. Tish, you're headed back to Baton Rouge in a couple of weeks. What's it going to feel like for you guys? Devon, what's it going to feel like to get back home?
Oh, it's going to be tremendous just to see all my friends and family. It's going to be hectic. When I get home,
there's so many people. Baton Rouge has shown us a lot of love since we've been here. Southern University, they've shown us a lot of love since we've been here. And because everybody's so anxious to get him back home, we were trying to figure out, are we going to need security when we get back to the airport? Because, everybody's just anxious to see, what the outcome is, and that they really just want to see that Devon is okay. Know that all of their prayers did not go in vain. Just to be in his presence, I think is going to be a wonderful thing.
I'm fine, I'm good.
Well, Devon, you have to do me one little small favor, and Tish, you got to promise, because Bulldog Nation and all of us here want to know so much about what's happening to you. When you go back to Louisiana, don't forget about us. Please call us. We'd love to have you come on the show.
Oh, yeah.
And give us updates every now and then.
And you got to come back, man. And you got to give me inspiration, because I'm going to win this Peachtree Road race in July. I'm going to win it.
You think so?
Oh, no, I know I'm going to win it.
Absolutely.
I'm going to win it.
I'm going to beat you with a cane.
You might. Hey, man, I'm about the next time you see me, I'm going to be slimmer, and I'm going to win it. Why you laughing, Harry? Wait a minute. Why you laughing, Harry?
Because Harry's
Hold
right.
up.
I think I'm the slimmest one in the Douglas family. Because
I ain't say I ain't going to be your size, but I'm going to be a little slimmer.
Right.
I'm going to win.
Right.
And I'm going to carry a belt, Harry.
I got to make sure I get your number too, because I'm gonna see if y'all can come down to New Orleans when I'm down in New Orleans and
Okay.
bring him to one of my brother's basketball games so we
Okay.
can kick it and stuff.
That's no problem. No
Other places in
problem.
New Orleans Pelicans. Tish, it's been my pleasure. Devon,
Thank
it's
you.
been our pleasure.
It's been a pleasure to be
Thank
here.
you so much for having us.